Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, November 24th, and this is Flosstube number 9. My name is Sherry. I go by ShareBear Stitcher on Instagram, and it has been a couple of months since I recorded. Life has been really busy since September 1st, which was my last recording date. I hope everyone has had a wonderful, productive last couple of months. So I will just give you a little bit of an intro if you're new. This is, like I said, my 9th floss tube. I don't record often because I have a very busy work schedule. And even though I stitch every day, I try to, I don't have a lot of finishes through the year because I don't stitch tiny projects. I stitch bigger projects. So it takes me a little while to get through them. I don't have a lot of whips going. I think at last count, I have 14 maybe. So I rotate in between those because I really try to focus on that here. I try to really get them done. So having said all that, let me recap a little bit of where I've been for the past couple of months, show you some purchases I've made, just a few, and also retreat items because I have been to a couple of retreats since September 1st. So starting with September, my husband and I like to celebrate his birthday. It's September 11th, so we celebrate for the entire week. And this year, his birthday happened to coincide with the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit put on by Acorns and Threads. And I love that retreat, and I try to go to that retreat every year. Janine Cheney and her team at Acorns and Threads do a fantastic job putting together a retreat, pulling in designers. This year it was Beth Twist and Teresa Kogut. And I have made many friends up in the Pacific Northwest over the past couple of years. It really does feel like home to me. So I enjoy going. And this year was, no exception. Janine and her staff outdid themselves. It was fantastic. The retreat is held in the Embassy Suites in Tigard. And I don't know if that is a more currently remodeled hotel. I'm guessing so. The rooms are wonderful. The breakfast, if you stayed in an Embassy Suites, you know what that's like. It's packed and fantastic. Janine, the retreat fee includes catered lunches every day, and it's not like catered lunch from a pizza place or Panera Bread, which would be fine. The hotel actually gives us the whole floor, and they serve banquet style food. You go through the line as many times as you want. They have beef, chicken. They have vegan options or vegetarian options, which are fantastic. Desserts, and then in the stitch room, desserts and coffee, tea. I think there were other things to drink available all day. And Janine does a few times where we take a break and we do a make and take. It is a wonderful time. So before I go further and talk to you about what we did for the week actually, I will do that first. My husband and I went a couple of days ahead. We went to Astoria, Oregon, and we spent time. This is where they filmed the movie Goonies. It was great. It was great. We had such a nice time. We were at the ocean quite a bit. We went down the coast and we stayed directly on the ocean. Place wasn't great, but we were there so my husband could go out and bird. And then we ended up in Tigard for the retreat. It was fantastic. So let me show you some of the things I received from the retreat. And by no means is this a complete display. This is just the 2 kits, a project bag that my friend Corey, who is the sole bag provider, Crafty Corey stitches for Acorns and Threads. So if you like her bags, which you can see it's Teresa Kogut fabric. And I have the projects that we received in here. If you like her bags, you can call Acorns and Threads and order. She does a fantastic job. So Teresa and Beth both designed a chart that if you wanted to, you could stitch them together. So let me take them out of the package so there's no glare to show you what they look like. And you'll be able to see by designer which one designed which. So here in my left hand is Beth Twist's Across the Miles. And then here is Teresa Koget's in my right hand, No Distance Too Far. So cool, independently stitched or put together. You could see the borders match, they go across. They did a tremendous job. I did take some pictures at retreat of the single piece stitched together. If I can find it, I will insert it here, but if I can't find it, I'm sure someone has posted it already. It has been a while since we had the retreat. We got fully kitted, fully kitted projects for both. Beth's came in here. You see on the bottom. Sorry, I did get sick in the middle of all this as well. And Teresa's came in this. It's very cute, very nice bag. Let me take a sip of water. Okay. And we also received a Biscornu chart designed by Teresa with, I'm sure you can see the little animals on here. It is so cute. So it was a great retreat. I highly recommend, if you can get in to the Acorns and Threads Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, I would do it. I think at the end of January or in February, if you are on Acorns and Threads mailing or email list, you'll get emails every month where they detail what's happening in the shop. And they also will announce when they're going to start taking reservations for the retreat. And I think you pay half up front and then half by July, I think. I'm not sure. It's not cheap. It's, upwards of $465, but worth every penny. So that's what we did in September. In October, I went to Italy for my daughter's wedding. If you follow me on Instagram at ShareBearStitcher, and I'll put that down here below, you can see all the pictures we took. I tried to take pictures. I'm not the best. I'm so in the moment, sometimes I forget. We landed in Italy. We landed in Rome. We took a train to Florence. We spent 2 days in Florence. From Florence, my husband and I took a 6-hour Chianti region wine tour. Sorry, I've got to clean my glasses off. And we loved the wineries so much. One of them specifically, who they do not sell to stores, so you couldn't walk in a store and buy them. They actually only do mail order, or I think businesses like restaurants type things. It was so good. In here, I have a wine rack, and we spent a good amount of money and had a bunch of wine shipped to my house. It was delicious. We had such a wonderful time. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of that week were spent in Tuscany at my daughter's, where she rented a villa for the week. And that's where they had the wedding. It rained slightly on the day of the wedding. It was just drizzling. But honestly, I think the pictures are going to come out beautiful. I did see one picture that her photographers were taking where they were holding umbrellas and it was so misty and they were taking a picture. It just looks so pretty. I'm so excited to see what they look like. The venue was gorgeous. The food was great. We had a wonderful time at her wedding. Like I said, I did post some pictures of just my daughter and her husband. My husband officiated the wedding. She had 45 people there. So that was really nice to see that all those people paid to go to her wedding. And then we left the wedding on Thursday and went and spent the end of the trip in Rome. And I must tell all of you, however you feel about religion, I'm not religious, but I have many friends who are religious of all kinds. My favorite, hands down, part of the trip, aside from my daughter's wedding, was the Vatican. It was breathtaking. I can remember walking in and getting choked up listening to our tour guide. We paid for a smaller tour, which was very guided. Just listening to her talk about Michelangelo and the process, and then looking at all the art, and then being in the Sistine Chapel and St. Peter's Basilica. And like I said, however you feel about religion, going over to St. Peter's tomb, it was amazing. It was the part of the trip I will never forget. Just how, I don't know, closely tied we can be to history if we pay attention. It was beautiful. My favorite statue of the whole trip was Perseus holding Medusa's head. Hands down, best part. I got a picture of it. I did post it on Instagram. If you go out and look at my posts from October, it was the green statue. It just was awesome. So that was Italy. And then we came back and I started work traveling, which is really the reason why I have not posted anything. I got off a plane from Italy, went into my laundry room, dumped everything out, went upstairs, repacked, and left 2 days later for work trips. So I've been leaving, coming home, emptying suitcases out. And then a couple of weeks after that, so we're now in November, I went to Michigan and spent some time because of the Michigan Stitchers Retreat, which we had a fabulous time. But I also spend the front end of that trip with my family since I'm originally from Michigan. So I stayed with my sister and visited with her and my mom and saw a bunch of my cousins and my brother. I have two brothers. One was in town, so I got to see him. So it was good. I had a good time. But, I went to Michigan for the Michigan Stitchers Retreat. And that's put on by Tiffany Dracos Emery. It's her very first foray into putting on retreats. And I must tell you all, she did a wonderful job. I think everyone who went filled out her survey afterwards and said it was a fabulous retreat. So get on the Facebook page, join the group, Michigan Stitchers Retreat, and you'll be updated for when she's going to put on more retreats. So let me tell you a little bit about her retreat. You know how I love Whip It Up project bags. Julie, she's on Etsy, and I'll show you a couple of her bags now. She did a couple of exclusive bags for the retreat, and I ordered both just because it's Julie and I love her and she's a good friend, and her bags are amazing. So here is her store name or her company name. Go on Etsy and you can see bags. I think she does have some out there now. But her quilting, seriously, the best. It's an amazing bag. It holds a Q-snap, good. I think an 11 by 11 Q-snap. She also does a little bit bigger bags, and sometimes she posts those. And this one was a little bit bigger. This was for the retreat. It was a special order for the retreat. I love this bag, and it is bigger, and it will hold that 11 by 11 easily along with your project items. So let me show you a couple of things we were able to snap from Tiffany's retreat. First of all, tell me, how cool is this? She's so crafty, that one. This was her Make It, Take It. Make It, Take It's at retreats are something you can put together. You get your Make It, and then you take it. Put together and take home. She really thought about how she wanted to gift people at retreats, things you could use when you're sitting there stitching. So, as many of you know, if you're from America, this is Michigan. And you can see from the backside the way that she had this cut out. And then she did an M. And then if you put that in there like this, it held your phone. She also gave us, sorry, my phone's going to fall because I'm holding it. She also gave us a magnet board that you could put on here and put the chart on here. And I don't have the chart down here, but I think we did get a free chart designed from, oh gosh, it's going to escape my mind right now, but if I remember, I'll stick it here in the bottom who it was. And it was a Michigan bird. And it was a really cute Michigan chart. And so we had that, and that would fit right here on the magnet board. But we also got from Bella Filipina, Halia, the forest pixie, and the design was exclusive for the Michigan retreat. And I think Julie from Whip It Up Project Bags has finished hers. And she's a sweet little pixie. And one of the things Tiffany gave out, which she gave out a bunch of stuff. I want you to know, it was so much. I actually scolded her and said, "Girl, this is too much. What are you doing?" She and her mom made Michigan like accessory bags. So cool. I'm actually using mine for travel for all of my iPod and AirPod accessory cords. Love the bag. But one of the other things we got was by Shakespeare's Peddler. They sent a chart. So for those of you that like single colored samplers, this would be a good chart. And then we had a designer exclusive, Karen McEwen from Meridian Designs, who came to the retreat. Everyone loves Karen. Karen actually designed the Mighty Mac. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Mackinac Bridge is a famous bridge in Michigan. It connects the UP, the Upper Peninsula, to the Lower Peninsula. It's awesome, beautiful. And this piece of fabric, which I have folded in half so that you can see actually what it looks like, was the exclusive fabric dyed for the Mighty Mac chart from Under the Sea Fabrics, and Leslie titled this Midnight Mermaid. So if I hold up the chart again, you can see how it was darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, which is how the Mac looks when you drive up to it at dusk. Karen did a fantastic job on this chart. So there was that. And then I think that was it for retreats. I don't think I did anything else. I'm sorry, I have to look at my list because I had to write everything down. Yes, that's it for retreats. Now, let me move on to some purchases because some were made at retreat. Some are me joining for the first time ever, just because I have so much, as I say all the time, but I really try not to buy unless I know at some point I may stitch it. I just, or stitch on it. I try not to buy too much, but I did join Fabric of the Month. So, but first, let me show you this piece of fabric that I bought. So I showed a few months ago that I finished, I think it was Summer Quaker from Leela's Studio. And I had an idea that all the Quakers would be stitched on the same size fabric. And I'm a sparkle girl, so I like sparkle fabric. And so I've already paired up Spring Quaker with a piece of fabric. I finished Summer. I have Autumn. I don't know if I've put fabric with it yet. I've got to look. Then I saw the Winter one coming out and I said, oh, I've got an idea for what I want to put that on. But I can't seem to find something. And then I ran across Witching Hour from Seraphim, and wow, do I love this piece of fabric. Look at that. So if you haven't seen Leela post different pictures of Winter Quaker, which I hope will be coming out soon, just from what the little snippets of chart that she's posted, it's going to look fantastic on this piece of fabric. But look at this. Just look at this. And it's coming across gray right there. Let me see if I can get it. It really is more gray blue. So if you think of, it's just so pretty. And it does have sparkle in it because I am a sparkle girl. So this will be for that. So my fabric of the month is from Fiberlicious. And the reason why I joined is because I saw her post, I think it was like and I don't even think I have a color around here that will do it justice. It is a plum purple, not really, really blue purple, but more plummy purple. It just was so pretty. And I said, oh, I should probably try hers. So I joined, and I joined for 32 count opalescent linen quarters. So this was my first one, and it's called Melancholic Autumn. And look at how cool this is. It's got some purple splotches, and I would say maybe some autumn. You can see that autumn color coming through like right here. This was really pretty. And I don't have anything. I mean, I have greens, of course, sparkly greens, but this was pretty. So I thought, okay, I like this. Let's see what I get next. So that was my first one. And then when I came home from, I don't know where I was, some work trip or something, this was in my mail. Marine Mystic. Now, that is, it's not coming across the way it looks in person. There it looks more green. It's turquoise. It is so pretty. And it's sparkle. And, you know, I've got a lot of Mirabilia mermaids upstairs that I can stitch this on, or stitch on this. So, I mean, it is just so pretty. So far, so good. I'm liking it. I know a lot of people are in many Fabric of the Month clubs. And I just, you know, first of all, I have a ton of fabrics from Under the Sea Fabrics and a ton from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So I am not in any Fabric of the Month club from them because I have purchased, like, if you saw my stash, those are the two most I have. So I thought, let me try someone I don't have a lot with. And I love it so far, so I'll stay in. When I feel like they're starting to get a little repetitive for me, as not that she's repetitive, but repetitive in my stash, I'll remove myself. Now, as many of you know, hopefully, if you're following me on Instagram, you know that I am in a SAL, which is a stitch along, with Emily C. from Eclectic Possessions and Lady Lugana, Sarah Van Way. We are doing Blackbird in a SAL. So it's hashtag Mira Blackbird SAL. Join us if you want to stitch it. But so before I show you what I'm doing on that, I had kitted her, and I kitted her with a piece of fabric. And then, I don't know, I got a wild hair up my butt one day and decided, let me order a couple of pieces of fabric. And I started with Under the Sea Fabrics. And just to see if I wanted to change the fabric I chose. So I ordered Enchanted Forest, a fat half, 28 count, because I do like to stitch mirrors on 28 count, which I'll tell you why in a minute. This color is phenomenal, but I didn't put it in the chart, in the kit. I am definitely going to save it for something else, but oh my, look at this. Tell me that is not beautiful. It is a light turquoise with some, I would say like a murkier bluish, greenish, purpley. I love this, and I ordered a fat half, so let me show you the other side. Look at that. It is just so, yeah, that's a great picture. I just don't even know how to describe it, but I love it so much. And I don't know what I'll use it for, but I'm so glad I have it. And because I have so much under the sea fabrics, I have more of that upstairs in my stash. I think I've showed this piece before. Tiffany sent me this. It's lemon meringue from Grace Notes Fabrics. One thing I don't have is a lot of yellow. And I don't know, I like yellow. I think it's kind of pretty. So I told Tiffany, send me a yellow from there if you see one that you like. And she sent me this. So I love it. It's pretty. I don't know what I'll put on it, but it's good to have in stash, as many of you know, as all of you know. And then, well, I'll show this other piece because I didn't buy this. This was gifted to me. But so that's it for purchases. Actually, I think it's called Mistletoe Manor. I'm not sure. I think it's called Mistletoe Manor. I bought that chart. Let me pull it up really quickly and show you. Sorry, this is real time. I'm going to do this. I could run upstairs and grab it, but honestly, I don't know where it is on my stash rack, so I would have to dig it out. But I did fully kit it up. Mistletoe Manor. Pansy Patch. Yes, that's it. Oh, yes, this is it. Okay, so let me share the picture. And we'll do it with trusty old 1-2-3 stitch. So I saw this chart when she first released it, and I think it was released in an exclusive with a kit. It was fully kitted. And I said, that's so cute. And I don't know, I thought it was really cute. I'm not so sure I like the Our Hearts Come Home for Christmas. I would probably leave that off, but I just think it's so cute. So when I was backing up to the summer, when I had Tiffany from Michigan Retreats and Julie from Whip It Up and Debbie from Mama Bear Stitchery here with me, we went to a retreat that was local and they stayed with me here. When you come to stay with me, I like to make sure you're comfortable. So they just, I guess, wanted to repay an act of kindness, and they got me a gift card to my stitch shop. So I'd forgotten it was upstairs, and I needed, I'll tell you about what I needed in a minute, but I needed to go there. So I said, oh, let me go use that gift card. So while I was there picking up the silk that I needed, I saw that chart, and I said, you know what? Let me kit this up too. So I fully kitted it. And changed all of the colors to Rainbow Gallery Splendor. So I'm going to stitch it in silk. When I record next month to show you 2025 plans and Whip Parade, I will definitely show that one. So now let's first move on to the SAL. So as I said, I am in a SAL, and this is going to be all my whips that I have going. Not all of them, but the ones that I've worked on since I recorded last. So first and foremost, I'm in a SAL with Emily C., Eclectic Possessions on Instagram, and Lady Lugana, Sarah Van Way, who is Sarah Van Way on Instagram. And the three of us are hosting the hashtag Mira Blackbird Sal. So I'll put that across the bottom here. Please join if you haven't. There is no timeline. Emily is already way farther than me, I'm sure. If you want to see her stitched, I think I'm not sure if she's even fully stitched by some people. I thought she was, but you can pull her up on Instagram or even on Facebook, and I am sure you will see some beautiful stitching. So let me show you where I am, because I did start her on, I think it was November 8th. We chose that day to start her. And let me see my notes. I have her on 28 count, Picture This Plus, opal conifer, of course, sparkle. And I did a total conversion to Rainbow Gallery silks. So when I said I needed to go to the stitch shop for a silk, I'll show you why. And I have her in a Julie bag. Look at that. Tell me that's not Moody and Blackbird. Knowing what Blackbird looks like, let me pull the chart picture out and show you. I think I was watching yesterday. I haven't watched Flosstube in a couple of months, but yesterday I did watch Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, Julie, who I love, and Julie loves her, and Julie has a cross here done. And she said, that dress is big, and boy, she's not wrong. It's huge. So check her out. She is really moody and pretty, and yeah, I just kind of love her. So I put her in this Moody bag that Julie made. Julie does have some of these. If there's any left on her site, on Etsy, Whip It Up project bags. So you can see there's all the Rainbow Gallery silk. So what I do, just so everyone knows, when I convert a chart, I've said this before, I pull all the DMC first. And then I go and say, do I like that color? Do I want to change that color to something else? How will it look if I change it, with all the others? Will it go? So I pretty much stuck to the color palette that Nora had her model stitcher stitch her with, but I still may change some of the colors. And I had to do that immediately because I start in the center. I'm a center start girl. And you can see this is where I started here. And there's this brown and then that lighter brown. But I pulled colors where this darker brown and the next shade over were almost the same. And I just could not see a difference. And you would think that because I have so many fibers upstairs that I could have converted this successfully at home. But no, I couldn't. So I took my gift card and I went and I got that lighter color. And I'm really happy with how it looks. Yeah, I can't wait to get some of the creamier color around here because it's not white. It's more like cream. At least that's what I pulled. So that will really make that pop. And I haven't really worked on her too much because I do have a shop model for Under the Sea Fabrics I'm really trying to get done. But anyways, this is where I am. And she is going to be on the docket to do in the new year. So that is our stitch along. Please join us. Like I said, no pressure, no time limits. We're not trying to finish her in 2 months because I won't. So moving on, let me talk to you about the shop model for Under the Sea Fabrics. I've known Leslie for, since like 2008, maybe before. Leslie is an amazing human being. And if you've not purchased fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics, you should. You just should. She's a wonderful human being, and I will leave it there. So whenever she needs a shop model done and I am in Texas, I always will grab one. It doesn't matter if I have 20 whips, which probably I'll never have, but it doesn't matter how many I have. Her stuff moves to the front of the pile. So while I was there, she had a few. When I went over summer for the Under the Sea Fabric retreat, the Stitching Sirens retreat, she has always. We have a small group of friends that are all friends together with Leslie, and she always pulls models for her friends to stitch for her, which we love her so much, we will do it. And so Dirty Annie's Venetian Lion was on the table, and I said, "Oh, I would never stitch that for me, but I think this is cool." And so Leslie wasn't in the shop at the time, but one of her staff members, Jen, and I went through and pulled all the fibers and then lined up all the fibers on this color which is called Rooibos. And I pulled 40 count, okay? So you could see the richness of this color. It is so pretty, right? Well, 40 count with petite silk lame and petite braid. Yeah, it's not going to work. It just looked too crowded. I was using one strand. I was getting really frustrated. So I texted Leslie and said, yeah, I'm sorry. That's just not going to work. So she told me to keep that piece of fabric. So that fabric is mine. And she re-dyed it in 32 count. And that is where I am. And tell me that does not look just so cool on this fabric, right? It's so pretty. So I'm about half through it, and I'm hoping to spend a good amount of time since travel for me is done for a couple months. I'm hoping to spend a good amount of time on this to get it done and get it back to Leslie. I have a goal, soft goal that I'm going to try to shoot for the end of the year, but we'll see because I can't show you the chart, but I can tell you it's tiny for me at least, and it's a lot of color changes. It is a lot of color changes because you're really trying to get the effect. Like right here, if I show you that really close, hopefully it comes in. You can see there's like 4 colors in that little rose, I think it is. So yeah, a lot of color changes. And I have it in, oh, big surprise, a Whip It Up project bag from Julie. Love this bag. So cool. Julie's the best. Buy some bags. Okay, that's one. What do I want to show you next? I may have, it's just a horrifyingly embarrassing thing to say. I might have put 10 stitches in the vanity sampler conversion that I've done. It's by Liz Matthews. Hello from Liz Matthews. It is being stitched on Newcastle linen 40 count honey amber. And let's see. I did put in some stitches, not a lot, but I did put in some. I think you can see I left the thread hanging where I added some stitches. I just wanted to see what it was going to look like down here. And I did a full conversion on this. So Cam the Stitcher did a very goth, really pretty conversion. And I liked hers, but I wanted to change up some of what she did. So I changed up, and I have chosen pinky purples and greens. Very, I don't know, just I thought it looked really good. And I am using what am I using? Soie d'Alger. So hopefully you can see all those colors in there. They're just really pretty. I like these bags. So really I did hardly any on this. Hardly any. So I can't even say really. It's a whip, but it's a whip. So next, I did do a little bit on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I know we're past Halloween, but every now and again, the brightness of the NPIs really draws me in. And so I have, like, the middle is done, this one is done, and I'm working on this right here. So I'll show you that. And this is on, I'm sorry, you're seeing me look over because I wrote it down, 36 count Fabrics by Stephanie Nature's Dance. So you can see where I am. Look at how cool that is. I'm sorry that it's like glaring because I'm sitting downstairs in my living room. Let me see if I fold it. You can see better. So there's my middle all done. And then here is where I am right now. It just looks so pretty on this fabric. And I am not using black around the border. I am using a silk, and you'd think I'd know the name, but it's been a while since I stitched it. So let me tell you what it is. It is Silken Colors, and I think it's called Acorn Woods. Yes, Silken Colors Acorn Woods. So let me pull it out and show you. And instead of black, I just thought this color on this fabric really looks really good. So you can see. So that is where I'm at on this. And I do plan on pulling it out at least for a couple of days a month, just because, like I said, the colors call to me. And if the colors call to me, I'll definitely stitch. I'll definitely want to stitch on it. And of course, it's in a Julie bag, Whip It Up project bag. A very fall looking bag. Very discernible with all my other bags. So for the last couple of projects, the ones that, one more that I did do some work on. I did take this with me to Michigan, and I didn't work on it in the retreat, but I worked on it at night at my sister's when I was done working all day and just kind of sitting around with the family. So this is With Thy Needle and Thread, an older chart, Winter Rose Manor. I am stitching this on 36 count Twixt and Tween from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And I'm using the Vicki Clayton silks with one exception. I changed the pink. The color that the Vicki Clayton silks conversion provided on this fabric, it didn't look good. It just did not look the way that I wanted it to look. So I pulled, I think it's a Silken Colors. Yes, it is. It's a Silken Colors. And I'm using that. And then, I don't know if you guys know, like on the chart, for those of you that are considering someday stitching this, let me pull the chart out so you can see. If you look right here, it doesn't look like those are really crosses, like just regular X's. It looks like they're bigger. And I don't know, I looked in the chart, and if it's there, I missed it several times. But I changed my stitches and just did longer stitches. So you can see there's now going to be delineation between this side of the house and this side of the house. Well, no, I thought it looked good, so that's what I'm going with. This is obviously a long-term project, and I do pick it up every now and again. And I would like to get it done next year, so we'll see. Big plans, right? So for the last two projects, as many of you know, I have been working on Mooka from Mirabilia. Here is Mooka. Miss Mooka is huge. To be honest, I would never have purchased this chart just because, I don't know, it just didn't speak to me until I saw it done by my friend Jules at an Under the Sea Fabrics Stitching Sirens retreat. And I said, I'm buying that. And I am stitching that. So it's stitched with all the called for. And I am almost done. Finally, almost done. Oh, that's not good there. There we go. You can see where I am up at the top in those candles. And then I have some hanging that looks like candles on the left and on the right to do. And then the straggly, I call them straggler stitches, where you have onesie, twosie, little leaves and things around. And then I have to beat her, and then she's done. So she's also on the docket to be done, hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of the year. But, I am going to have a house full of people here in a couple of weeks, and meaning grandchildren. My husband's grandkids are coming, and everybody's under 5, so it's going to be kind of crowded. So we'll see what I get done. But one thing I definitely have on the docket to get done is my husband's dragon from 2x2 Stitch Art. So let me quickly pull that up and show you all what that looks like. And so you can see how far I am. 2. Okay. I have a picture right here of the chart. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to show it this way. Like that, really quickly, so you can see what that looks like. Sorry. I don't think anybody will be able to chart that. And I have to take off my Q snaps because I was working on it last night while I was watching the Great British Baking Show, which I'm kind of hooked on. Thank you, Debbie. Okay. There we go. I am stitching this with yeah. Oh, there we go. Silks for You, PR 181. So the whole frame around the outside is PR 181. It's on 32 count Picture This Plus Crystal Ancient. The darker brown on the inside around the dragons is Gloriana Cocolot. And the green on the dragon is Night Stalker Calling Scales. So, what's left? And so this is where I'm going to ask all of you. So underneath the dragon, and that dragon at the top is not done yet. Under the dragon, in that middle frame area that I've already stitched, there is some more filigree, like what you see around the border, in the inside of the border, and that's stitching with Gloriana. But what I thought was I would take the PR 181 from Silks for You and stitch the filigree with that to separate the two dragons. And then the bottom one is the dragon facing the other way. So what do you guys think? Do you think that'll look good? I think it will. My husband seemed to think he liked that. Let me pull this up close to show you what it looks like. So you can see the Cocolot doesn't have really variegation, but the PR 181 certainly has great variegation. And I thought separating the two dragons with that would look really good. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to know what you all think. This is almost done. And the chart was great. The chart is great. If I have only ever done one from them, but they do have a ton on Etsy, I would suggest go looking to see if you like anything that they do. Stitching with this silk is nice. It's one strand. It just looks really nice. And this is sparkly fabric. Maybe you can see some of that. Yeah, you can see it there. This fabric is so pretty. And I think everything works really well with these colors. And then my husband, he wants me to put a red bead for the eye. So I have some red beads I'm going to use. But other than that, one thing I should tell you guys. You see, I have Kohanas. I have 2 pairs. I saw the ones that were limited edition with that rosy, pinky red. I saw those and I said, yeah, I'm ordering directly from Kohana. So I did. And I paid $90. And both of my Kohanas have hanging tchotchkes because they're very light. Where I sit in my room to stitch, I'm all set up with a little cart, stitcher's cart here. It's right next to, like you see that window there, it's on the back side of the house. So I have a little stitcher's cart sit next to my window. It's in the corner. I can see my TV. As you all do, you set yourself up in your space. And so when I came home from, I think I was in Michigan, I had my husband open the scissors when they came and showed them to me so I could squeal. Oh, I love them. They're so pretty. So when I came home, I started using them. And the tattooed stitcher Jordan, her mother-in-law, at a retreat I went to earlier in the year in Ogden, Utah, Stitch West, her mother was selling the little wooden blocks that your mother-in-law where you could put your scissors in the blocks. So my Kohanas, I have 3 blocks. They were all in there. I don't know what I did, but I have a little trash next to my stitcher's cart. I think I threw them in the trash, and I can't find them. I used them 3 times. They are so light. I can't find them. I was so upset at first. I was just so upset, and I spent an hour just kind of kicking myself. How could I have done that? That was not cheap. I spent $90 getting them here. And, then I started looking over at all of my stuff and looking at the scissors I have and my projects with all the silk. And, I'm pretty blessed. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of fabric. I have a lot of charts. I have fully kitted probably now like 85 projects that when I retire, I can work on and I can feel like I have something brand new every time. And if I happen to not like the fabric I have 3 years from now in a kit, guess what? I have 4 full drawers of fabric. I can pick something else. So I'm just I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I'm not gonna shed tears over it. They're gone. They're gone. I know they fell in that trash. Just all of that to say, don't sweat the small stuff. They're expensive, yes, but I have others, and it just kind of helped me level set for myself that I don't always have to have something brand new or the nicest, newest thing. I have nice new things. I have things no one else uses but me. So I had to focus on being grateful for what I had. And it really did help me level set and not like just stress eat and all the things because I lost a pair of really expensive scissors. It's my own fault. It happens. It happens to the best of us. So just wanted to share that with you all. Be grateful, I guess, for what you have, be grateful for the things that matter. And with that, my daughter is calling me because we are going to go run errands together and get ready for Thanksgiving. I hope everyone has a beautiful holiday who celebrates. See, she's now texting. If you are in America and you celebrate Thanksgiving, moment of gratitude, be grateful. We live in a pretty good place. And for those of you that don't celebrate, I hope you have a wonderful rest of November. December is just around the corner, and the craziness of Christmas will be upon us. And if I don't, I probably won't record again until December 31st or January 1st because my house guests will have left by then. So happy Thanksgiving. We will see you in a month. Bye-bye.